Extras?
Yes.
I've got time here on my cell phone. Okay, are we ready?
You're good.
Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Miami Lakes Cultural Affairs Committee meeting. My name is Neil Robinson. I'm the chairperson for the Cultural Affairs Committee. Today is Wednesday, October the 12th, 2022. The time now is 7:04. Let the meeting be called to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Charles?
Present.
So sorry, I'm late.
I'm sorry. We just started.
Take one and tap down, please.
We just started.
Here's the note, Sharon. Come right here.
Okay, Esther here.
Elsa, Esther?
Esther, yeah, she's here.
She's up here.
Yeah, she's
All
here.
right, okay.
Felicia, did Felicia make it? She's coming. I know she's coming. Madeline? Present. Mireli?
Roll call.
Neil?
Present.
Suzanne? Renee?
Present.
Okay, now we got everyone. Ermi? Present. Elizabeth? Present. What's the other lady? Elizabeth? I saw her leaving. Was she left? She's not gonna say it?
No.
I saw her walking out. The visitor we had last walking in. Excuse me, next to Charles, what is your name?
Z.
What is it?
Z.
Z?
Yes, ma'am. Z Aleman. Yes.
Z Alemán.
I am visiting.
Oh, you're visiting? Oh, okay, so she's not.
Z-I?
Z-E.
All right.
Oh, there she is. Ruth?
Yes.
Are you mentioned already?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now that the roll call has been called, we have more than necessary for a quorum. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. We'd like to have an opportunity for public comments. At our last meeting, Officer Wanda was not, Amador was not able to be here. And he had some observation regarding the culinary bike tour. So you want to share that with us, sir?
Yes, sir. Good evening,
Thank you.
everyone. So first of all, we thought it was very, very nice.
Well attended.
The rain, right? The weather was amazing. It rained the moment. I don't know how we got that lucky. Definitely, God was looking out for us. So there's a bunch of positives, right? It was well attended. I think, we had no issues, reference, safety concerns. The only thing that we noticed was, and then there were some questions about the golf course. And Color Bay is having, so Color Bay started doing what we are doing now, the town, which is allowing golf carts, and there's a permit that you get from the town, so on forth, and a lot of people are going to be riding the golf cart. So there was one golf cart, one group that showed up on the golf cart. What we ended up doing was we put them in the back because people paid, and at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everybody attended. But we see that in the future, this is going to be a problem. So it was talked about that any event, and since you guys also work on many events, any events from now on, like if it's a bike event, it needs to be a bike event, and it needs to be advertised as such. And in the advertisement, it needs to show that golf carts are not gonna be allowed any type of motorized vehicles. It's gonna be a vehicle like a car. And then if, on that note, if the committee is going to have any other event, or if you guys are thinking about having any events that are related to golf carts, have one golf cart event
Okay.
only. Something separate completely from everything, else, not a mixed event.
So not mixed,
Yeah, nothing mixed.
okay,
Nothing
even if
mixed.
they have like the permits, because I know that there was a few golf carts, and the permit thing had just, it had just passed like recently, or right before the bike thing. So I remember people asking. me
And
about it.
already,
Yeah,
right,
so nothing mixed, even if they have the permits or whatever, it
No,
just becomes an
nothing
issue
mixed.
for you guys.
it's
It's
a
a
safety
hazard,
issue
yeah,
there,
okay.
you know, God forbid, because it's bikes mostly,
Yeah.
and God forbid somebody gets run over. You know, on a golf cart, golf cart,
Yeah.
but golf cart, bike,
Yeah. No, I didn't see them. I didn't see the
They were
preview.
not involved.
yeah, no.
Is there any more of these?
Maybe.
If, because the thing about the
The-
freebie is, we could have the freebie go behind the last marked unit. So we'll never have any issues with that. But what happens with golf carts is, okay, let's say we put them behind the last marked unit, then we don't have a last marked unit. Now we have people trailing,
Yeah.
and that, even before the permit, we had another event where there was a parade and we already had that problem. And we had to stop and say, no, you can't even trail us because now we have the problem. How many other people, we have a certain amount. We can't have the back and then now we're worried about the people behind us. It just turned into a huge safety issue.
We don't have any events.
No. I know that the town has now passed a new ordinance that's going to allow people to have guard carts and they must register them.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah, it's
process.
passed.
It passed,
It
Yeah.
passed right
it
before the
passed.
bike tour, so
Bike
some people were asking me, do you think we're gonna need a permit to use the golf cart? Because last time they did use the golf cart, is my understanding. And I
There was
didn't
one,
attend the one
there
before,
was one.
yeah.
One golf cart.
Okay.
And we also had the electric scooters
Mhm.
as well as the
Yeah, I guess people can use.
Bike.
that instead.
so I use bikes, so that worked. Okay, any other observations, sir, you'd like to bring to us?
That was it.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving right on because we got a lot to cover this evening. Public hearing, anyone else who has a comment, please, David, I think you want to share who you are and why you're here.
Good evening. My name is David Pedraza. I'm originally from Mexico, and I'm a viola player. I'm part of the Cumbria String Quartet. I've been featured here at Miami Lakes and the Methodist Church as a featured soloist with the Symphony of the Americas Summerfest.
Yes.
I'm part of the Cumbria String Quartet, which means with vigor. And our other members are from Russia, Uzbekistan, and Ukraine. And we're a professional string quartet based in Boca Raton. We have concerts all over Florida. We travel, actually next week we're going to Houston. We have a concert in Houston. And we just wanted to offer the possibility of having a chamber music concert here for the Miami Lakes. And you have, in the Methodist Church, you have an amazing acoustic
Yes.
that would bring out all these beautiful sounds out of a string quartet. And we have multiple programs, music by Mendelssohn, Mozart, or Beethoven, Brahms, all the great chamber music. And just wanted to thank you for the opportunity for promoting Cumbria String Quartet. And hopefully we could come and bring a great chamber music concert here in town.
David, thank you for coming, and we certainly will take that under advisement and see what we can do this coming fiscal year, which is October 1.
Thank you very much.
We are, as you probably don't know at this point, our budget is neutral, so we didn't get any new money, so it's the same as it was last year. But we certainly would love to entertain that possibility of having a string quartet to come and perform here in the town of Miami Lakes.
Thank you so much for the
coming.
opportunity.
Would you give us any information to Kyle so that we can get in touch with you and all of that?
Absolutely. Isle has our website.
Good.
She has my personal website, my phone number, and I'll be in touch with her if that's okay. And I wanted to thank you for this opportunity. And if it's okay with you, I live in Boca Raton.
Oh, go.
so-
I know, you gotta
Go back
go.
home.
Right, right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other?
Yes, thank you
any
very
other
much.
comment?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, my name is Carlos Ravelo. I'm part of the community. I just participate in the meeting and, see if there's anything.
What is your name, I'm sorry?
Nelvis, Nelbys. Ravelo,
Ravelo.
yes.
Well, thank you.
You could come and help on Saturday. I think it's fine. That will be an expensive.
Okay, shall we return to the agenda? Any deferrals, any additions? Is there any other comment? Hearing none, public comments, we will close public comments. Okay, any deferrals, additions, or deletions to the agenda?
I'd like to see if possible, if we can move up Jazz in the Park. We can move it up somewhere in the agenda, I don't know where it is. I have another event at the theater, so I'd like to give my report.
All right, we'll be happy to move you up. How about right after the Hispanic Heritage Month? Is that acceptable to you?
But
Does
it's
that
gonna
work
be
for
a
you?
little, it's gonna be a little lengthy.
Okay, we want to go first?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
All right, we'll move you up to A. All
Okay,
right,
I don't know if it's top secret or not, but Alice and I have been working diligently on Nicole Henry. We went back and forth and back and forth. I actually had to call her. She's gonna do it on the 12th.
great,
Great.
great.
She's in,
Nicole
she moved some stuff around, but she's gonna be in South Florida. For those of you who don't know, Nicole Henry is one of the top jazz singers in the United States. She has about 2 or 3 she has a brand new album out right now. If you look up, we really need to publicize it.
Yeah.
She's University of Miami graduate. She used to live here and she has a great following, but we also need to send out to our people. It's gonna be a nice night. Ours, I think we've gotten up to maybe 4 food trucks. And as you know, for those who don't know, you bring your own chairs. And if you wanna bring a little cooler, you can, but we will have at least those 4 trucks there if you don't have food. But we really want to sell this out and to welcome her. And I think even more importantly, she agreed to our budget. Guys, let me tell you, these entertainers are charging.
Well, thank
We
you.
getting her at 50%.
Thank you for
We
your
getting her
effort.
at 50%.
Well, that's tremendous.
That's awesome.
Those guys are charging 15, 20, 25,000 now for a concert.
Wow.
They just, particularly big name people. So,
What is gonna be her fee?
What's the fee?
6,
3,500?
when the 6,
In the city?
6, I think, that's what she did for
Her
that.
fee is, literally whatever she
Yeah,
charged you guys
and
like
she agreed
3
to
years
whatever she
ago.
did.
What is it?
Give me a second now.
6, it's
Is that?
600.
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah.
600.
Oh, I heard 600, like, whoa.
$600 now.
1,000.
Good.
So
Right,
that should
we
be
have
enough,
a
that should be
12,000.
enough for the other things. that we have to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can all sing together, we can all talk together and get anything done. So please, so that the secretary can capture what is being said, she asked me what was said, so please.
What is the fee?
I'm pretty sure it's 6,000.
Now, that does not include
No,
the
that's her. fee.
production.
That's her.
Yeah,
fee.
that's just
And
her
we have
invoice.
10.5, so.
It's
Right.
almost 6,000. It's $5,750.
So we have about,
$760.
I'm 50, no?
50, yeah.
That's awesome, thank you.
Charles, thank you for your
Oh, yes.
incredible negotiating skills to pull this
Yeah, I
off.
was dealing with the
Really great.
agent. I said, let me call her. I
Excellent.
talked to
And this will be-
She is incredible. For those of you who've not heard her, I think she
Yeah.
started here one
She's
year.
kind of like Nancy Wilson, Whitney Houston, that kind of
She,
singer.
and her band is, whoever the band that accompanies her is so professional. And you can tell by the sound of the musicians and the music that they're playing. It's just incredible. She's a
So
Let's
this is
start promoting it around.
Yeah, we
here.
have to.
We have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
And this is November 12th.
November 12th. The 13th, I found out now she's gonna be in West Palm. So I think that could kind of help her
Public hearing.
to agree. to come, because she was already gonna be in here.
And,
The next day, she's gonna West Palm like 100 bucks.
yes.
So,
She's really, what we need to do also is reach out to Juan, who works for the Parks and Recreation, I believe.
Mhm.
He has a friend who always provides a Winnebago for her. And a bird
A Winnebago for her dressing room.
for a dressing room.
We put it right behind
Don't
the
we,
stage.
you guys haven't used a trailer for that?
We use it one time. What, we have a trailer?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
The big white.
I've never been in it.
Oh. we
Is
can
it
use it.
really nice?
No.
I mean, I've been told to use that.
No. No, the last time that she was here.
I'll make the request of one.
That's Juan.
And we'll go from there.
Juan has a good friend of his
Okay.
who does have a nice Winnebago. He brings it and parks it, and so she was able to go in there, relax. But she's a professional,
Oh, you need
a super professional. And we want to always treat her that way because maybe in next year or the following year, we want to get her back. And the way that we treat her will certainly have a lot of impact on whether she wants to come back. So
And she's been to
Really,
Europe,
very-
Africa,
I just was
Germany,
wondering,
Russia, everything.
has anyone reached out to the Laker yet? Because if not.
That's what I'm
I'd be
saying. I was
glad
gonna tell Al, maybe we could.
I
get
send
her
a
an
monthly
interview.
calendar, but I
Right,
know
but-
you guys have been reaching out in addition, and
Yeah,
that's great.
Sometimes it needs more than that.
What I'd like to do is
Do you
see if
have
we
a-
could interview.
We're working with
interview
her
Get
agent
the Laker to
to
interview.
get it,
Okay, the
Right,
Laker to
like-
interview her
Okay,
or
so
just.
but we'll have it by
bio?
end of this week.
Do you have the bio?
No,
And a
I'll
picture of
contact-
her?
We'll contact the agent.
I have her picture,
Oh, you have her picture?
I can
Okay.
share it with you.
Thank you. then
And
I
I'll
could-
share it with all of you once the flyer is done. We're estimating to have it done by end of this week.
Perfect.
Good.
And if you share it, then
All right.
I'll keep on.
shall we move on to the next item? Is there anything else you'd like to add, Charles?
No, that's it.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
Charles.
much.
Thank
Thank you, thank you very
Charles.
much.
That's great.
Let's move to the next item. We need to, yeah, that's what I just took it out of order. Review the minutes. Have we had a chance to review them?
On the agenda, they missed the word comments
Okay.
on the agenda, right in front, comments.
Number three.
CRM.
Down, number three.
I don't know which one.
Okay, number three.
Calendar is misspelled.
Wow,
Calendar.
better do a spell check
So
on
this
this.
is not me.
Okay, but on the minutes, Officer Amador, not Office Amador.
Okay, I just left you all.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be a good secretary.
Yeah.
No, she wouldn't.
Ah,
Thank
yes.
you.
Oh, yes.
For the future.
It would take me too long because
Okay.
I'll get too
Let's-
nitpicky.
No, that's perfect. I'm
Okay.
Okay.
Have we reviewed the minutes, please?
Yes.
Are
Yes,
you
I have.
reviewing them now?
I have a change.
Okay, right. Why don't
On
you tell us what the
page-
change is?
Yes, on page 12, on the Hispanic Heritage Month, it says Trinette mentioned Venezuelan gelato vendor that will bring 246 gelatos.
How many?
We're not ordered, I think that number 246 was the first invoice that he
Well, that's
provided.
what I saw.
Yeah, so the first invoice was for 246, but we're actually ordering 100 gelatos.
100.
Yes,
Oh,
and it's
that's
$3
not so
each
bad.
and a $50 processing fee, so it's $350.
Okay, perfect.
But the 246, I went back to look what that was. It was the original
The
invoice
original.
for the
Okay.
60,
So it's 100 gallon.
100.
But it still stays at 246 because it's the original invoice,
Well, I
right?
don't
It's the
know, she
minutes.
wants me to change
Yeah,
it
the
to 100.
246, it was mentioned was because of the first invoice. But then we also mentioned we're gonna order more, so I don't know if you wanna put 246 for 60 gelatos. But it was never 246 gelatos.
$246?
$246 for
Okay,
60
that's
gelatos.
where it is.
That's what
Okay,
we
that's the
That's
correction.
what it is.
All right.
$246.
Yeah, because I was trying to go figure out. what that
Gelatos.
number was.
Okay, that's what it is.
That's what the change.
Okay, that's what it is.
But that was with the taxes and everything. So if you
Yeah, yeah.
remove the taxes,
Yeah.
what we have now is $100,
Yeah.
350.
100, perfect.
All right, so that's gonna be enough, you think? Well, when it runs out, it runs out.
That's
Yeah,
it.
we
Runs out,
ordered
runs out,
half.
man.
That's
Okay.
what we're
Because we
at.
have like 200 people.
Any other changes that need to be made in the minutes, please? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the minute
I second.
with the changes that was just made.
I'll make the motion.
All right, it's been moved and it's been, motion has been made. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Second by Madeline, moved by Mary Lees. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those that are opposed? let the record show that the minutes were approved with that minor modification. Okay, let's move on to the old business. We're talking about the book talk with the author. And we wanted to brief. Let me begin by just saying it was a well-attended event. I personally want to thank Elsa and Suzanne, but especially Elsa, because this thing was almost to be canceled. And Elsa went that extra mile and called and did and cajoled and twisted arms and did whatever she needed to do to make sure that the event went on. And it was an overwhelming success. And I thank you all for being there, and each of you who brought wine, and Charles who served wine, and I was supposed to help, but he was doing such a good job. I decided not to bother him. Yeah. And it was just a great evening, and the Q&A was really well done. And so, and I also want to add that we got to do more of this publicity than we did for all our upcoming events, because of the flyers that were sent out. Suzanne, thank you for Barnes and Noble that you went and talked to them.
Pounded the paper with the flyers all over town,
That
and
half a page.
the half a page with
With the
Linda.
The teacher.
The teacher who invited us.
Yeah,
the
the
teacher
teacher,
who invited us.
yes, teacher right here.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
that was
I
great.
thought that your face was
Thank you
familiar.
so
No, I-
much.
you invited me to come by?
But,
So this was just incredible. This is what we need to do with all our events and get it out there early, because I had the Laker calling and it just was really well attended, and it was just incredible.
We
So
have 51.
anybody else have any
51
comment?
people.
51 people.
Uh-huh, yeah. And of course, you know, a lot of people didn't show up, which always happens, and then some that had registered, and then some showed up, you know? So,
I think if I remember, yeah,
yeah.
we had 51 total. I must have missed 3.
Yeah, because I knew them and they came late, yeah.
Ah,
That's why I
okay.
added.
And of the 51 that was registered, 24 registered showed up, and then 27 were no shows.
Yeah, see?
So it's a 50%.
So like I registered just in case.
Yeah,
and
I
I was
did too.
there, yeah, and I
Yeah, we're
didn't,
going,
you know, so maybe.
Well, yeah,
maybe
no,
some of them-
I-
Oh, you kind
did.
of.
One thing I am good about
Oh,
those is
yeah.
keeping track of everybody,
Oh, okay,
everybody. Yeah.
including the students.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was a 50%, like the painting with a twist for Mother's Day.
The same
We had
thing.
so many and only 50% showed up.
Yeah, 50% shows up. The other thing is that Alka has been sending thank yous, and I forwarded it to everybody. And today I have her on Instagram, and she did a beautiful, beautiful post. She loved the video that I took of her. And she basically, let me see here, I took it here. She posted it on her Instagram.
Oh, great.
On her Instagram, and it says, I had a great time talking to so many people who came out for the Town of Miami Lakes Town Hall meeting. They had a great turnout and they were so engaged in the discussion about this perfumist of Paris. Seriously though, have you pre-ordered your copy? But anyway, she loved the video. She said she was putting it in her social media.
Oh,
You
great.
know,
Great.
and then she sent me the contact person for the Miami Book Fair, and she thinks they're gonna invite her next year.
Yeah, so that's what they're gonna work.
Yeah, so that's.
You're gonna hire also.
I am.
I recommend that we follow her on Instagram, I already am.
Yeah, I follow them.
Yeah,
And if she's coming next year, I think we should do a tour of the book fair and all of us show up to say hi to her.
I think that if she goes to the book fair, we put in a good word for her.
She's
We should have her come here.
No,
and
she
do it.
said she would
Yes.
come. If she did, she says,
I can put a good
are
word
you
with her.
like
with
2 or
the-
3 hours away? I said, no, we're like half an hour away
Yeah.
from the book fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she will come, she will come.
Yes,
Another
Felicia.
comment is, this being such a successful event, I call it our fall book talk. I think we should plan for the spring and the summer. The winter, I think, is the book reading for the kids, so
Mhm.
that could be part of it. But I think we need to start researching authors. So for the
Great.
spring, we can have a good one.
Terrific. Suzanne?
I just want to thank everyone that's, and the committee, and if there's someone who's not here tonight, thank them as well, because there was never a time that I asked for anything or reached out to someone to help. I always got, oh, yes, of course, we can do it, we'll be there. And I really want to thank, and this one right here, taking all the names and letting me come over, and I started ripping up some of those tickets, and I mean, everyone was just so wonderful about the setup and, the
Well, talking about the
execution
setup.
of the whole thing. And
Okay,
then
the
just,
setup.
and then one other thing,
Yeah.
I think this makes all the difference.
Oh, of
The
course.
flyer's wonderful, but
Yeah,
if the flyer
the
just
Laker.
sits here and there's a
The Laker.
picture of it that goes out, our target audience is not really, unfortunately, always social media. I personally went around and dropped them off at the coffee shops, at the library. I mean, that's what, and then Linda is wonderful, but you have to call her and call her and call her. And she was telling me after that almost fiasco,
Yeah.
she called me on a Friday night at 9 o'clock, ready to hold back this release. So, that's why we
Yeah.
just have to have it in the
Yeah,
labor
the
every time.
personal connection is very important.
It's
It is.
just unfortunate. I wish our target audience was, more into the
Right.
social media, but unfortunately.
But that's very true, because a lot of the attendees that were coming, they were actually gonna get a copy of the land papers, and they were saying, oh, we'll get it on our way out, and they were taking it.
Yeah,
they
so
saw that.
I
And there
will
were
work.
two things that, some of them said, oh, it was canceled. I'm like, but it was back on. So that little confusion of canceled, and that's one of the reasons why I mentioned, I said, once you see that email, it's canceled, you
That's
don't
it.
check anymore.
That's it. But then that was one other thing that I had mentioned. Do you send a reminder to people? I didn't get a reminder.
A member sends a reminder.
You did?
Because
Did you
I-
get a reminder? I didn't get a reminder.
maybe it
Yeah, I got one.
But
Your
it-
book
November
talk is
sends it.
coming.
Really? Okay, I didn't get mine.
Now, I have a question for one of our visitors. How did you find out about the event?
Well, I live in my notes and
Oh.
I've got them in written.
Okay.
There you go. Check out the Miami
See, the
link.
money link? I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
yeah, everybody reads it.
It's-
Even people that are on social media.
Tough for
That's the
English
only thing that I
teachers.
read in my
The
house.
only, the only thing with the book talk is a couple of things, that I guess for next Saturday, we have to make sure. Unfortunately, the chairs were facing the wrong way. So Trinette and Elizabeth turned the chairs around. The other thing is, we need to have this on time because people were showing up and we didn't have the list to register and check them. So that's important. And the other thing is the plates and the napkins, we have to say, one, where are the plates? One, where are the napkins? I brought forks from home. So there's certain things like that, that we need to, especially this, because people will show up before 6
Yeah.
o'clock on.
That was one of my
On
committees that
Saturday.
overwent their meeting, so I wasn't able to help you guys.
Right.
But that
But then-
won't happen on Saturday.
Yeah, but
And I'm glad you
then-
brought up the feedback about the plates and all. Please keep in mind that those weren't certain, like napkins were not requested, and that's why they were not out. So I know that Suzanne helped us put together an event checklist, which I kind of worked off of to create a master one, and added even more details to it. So I've shared it with Trinette now. I know this is the first time we're using it, so we'll go through it together. But I'm actually gonna share an empty one with all of you. And I need you guys to thoroughly go through it because there's things that, in the moment we're not thinking about and that you are actually gonna need and you don't realize it till the day of. I did my best to go through every single detail. If you guys think there's anything missing on this list, please feel free to let me know and I will update it. But this has everything: coolers, ice,
Yeah, that is,
utensils, napkins, janitorial, which is something sometimes not,
It should be like a
thought
checklist.
about. Yes, it's a whole checklist,
Yeah.
but it's a 4-page checklist, and it even has, as Elsa mentioned, that there, we didn't get the room layout correctly. This actually has, the last piece of it is you guys laying out how you want the room, so that there's no confusion as to what it is, that is requested of us.
We need you to always.
Do you have dry ice
assist
for
in
the
that,
gelato?
since you do such
They,
good.
they come with it.
Or they do?
Yeah, no,
So
we're not
I'm asking
Felicia.
Felicia to assist with that because she did such a good job, as you know, when we did the thing over in the park, not a park, but on Main Street. And
Which
here
to
too,
assist
so-
with which one, sorry.
The
This,
layout, the
the,
layout of the room.
Yeah, okay.
With the layout of the room,
So
so that
just
we
so-
know that your people know exactly how
Okay.
to set the room up then we don't have to come in and make changes because.
For the event form though, just keep in mind that that will be for every single event you guys do. Whoever's chairing the event, needs to fill that out with every single detail and it needs to be turned in advance.
1
Do they
week,
offer
2 weeks?
Saturday?
How much in advance?
No, for Saturday, I worked with Trinette because it was
There you
a,
go.
we just finalized the form, but going forward, I'm gonna share with you guys from now, so you have it handy. That needs to be turned in per event. So Jazz in the Park, whoever's chairing that event needs to give me that
How far in advance?
a month in advance to make sure that we have.
Ooh.
all of these.
Oh.
You're
It's already
So that
Good
is
question.
That
We're
is-
gonna move the event to December, so I have.
No,
I failed the test.
that
I was like,
includes flyers and programs so that they're printed and we can work on it way in advance.
Oh,
Okay,
I get what you mean.
all right.
I'll send it to you guys.
Any other comments? Concerns? Wonderful event, wonderful event.
I
We had enough wine too, did we not?
We did, we had that over.
Everything.
One of
Oh
the
my
guests
goodness.
is my media specialist, that's librarian from my school, and she only made one little comment, she goes, she wished she would have read an excerpt from her book.
Yeah, I got that comment.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
The comment of just if she could have read
Yes.
one thing that she
Usually,
thought
yeah,
was.
usually.
Yeah,
I
that's
think It
true.
was fascinating, the first book that her inspiration was her mom.
Yeah.
I love that story.
That was the story.
Well, the book is great.
You have to read it.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, shall we move on to the next item, which is a big E? I'd like the chairs for the chair for the, his, the chair. The chair?
Also,
Who does on the, who's the chairperson? Co-chair. Council, you? So, Jeanette?
Oh, Elsa's been helping like, there's no tomorrow.
Okay, all right. So, all right, the co-chairs for the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration.
Heritage.
So, anyway,
And look here every time.
These are for the record, these agendas, correct? So we really have to work on the spell check.
well, we said
This
it
is not, I know, that's true, but like heritage
That's
even.
how the agenda was sent in.
Who said
I did, I did it. So,
Oh,
I didn't do the spell check. So I just rushed it. I just came in from Chicago,
you
so I
gotta
was
be careful
rushing
when it's
it.
an all caps.
So, yeah,
Yes.
I won't do all caps again. I thought I'd try something new, but
Okay.
spell check doesn't work well on all cap.
Right, unless you change it.
Yeah, all right.
Oh.
Shall we move on, please?
Ready?
Renee?
Yes. All right, perfect. So, you want to go over the form, so everything that we have?
You can just read it to them so that they're aware.
Okay, yeah, so, I think the only thing that was missing, we have max attendees, I think it's 200, we're gonna cap it because of the, capacity. And also, I think that's how many we already had registered. So at the beginning, we had like 100 and then it doubled once the news came out and also. came
Yeah,
out.
that one's over promoted.
Not over promoted, yes.
Right, so then, for the resources that we're still missing, the items that we're still missing that the town is going to provide, and we discussed this with, Isle, it's gonna be 4 coolers and we need ice, right?
Yes.
Okay, so. we
Now,
need-
because this, one cooler would have the beer, we could combine the beer and the ice,
Okay,
right? And then another one has to have just ice because the sodas are gonna be
in the cups.
in the cup. And then,
I'm gonna provide, I'm gonna check with Juan, because he's the one that helps with coolers and ice. I don't know that we have 4,
yeah,
but I will ask him for as many as we have.
at least if he has 3, we could work with
3,
3.
okay, so 3 or 4 coolers.
Yeah, we could work with 3, because the idea is that the beer,
Beer.
cola, the little bottles of soda, and then the
The
ice
ice
alone, so that we
separately,
can do the, yeah.
With the
Yes,
scooper or
it's clean
something
ice.
too.
It's clean
Yeah, so we
ice,
have to
yeah,
make-
clean ice, yes.
Okay, then next was, the water, right? So we have 200 people registered and we need to get the half
The little
size,
bottles.
half size bottles, 8 ounces. And so she was asking how many, I don't know how many we should.
I
get.
would say at least, let's do 250, can we do 250?
It's actually, this is per Willie's recommendations when he was with the
Right.
group, is you would do 3 times the amount you have,
Well,
because
but-
people need to be hydrated.
Yeah, but remember, we have the sodas.
We
That's
had,
fine, that's just a recommendation, you guys let me know how many. you want.
Yeah, but that was because we were outside for the most part, but this is
That's
the
if you're
inside
outside.
event.
Okay, let's do 300.
300.
300 of the little ones,
300
So,
of the little one.
300 of the little
And if
ones.
there's any
See, you
left
can
over,
contact, Mr.
You have like maybe 15 upstairs from the kids fishing.
Yeah, and if we
So I'll
have
bring
leftover,
those
we'll use it for another event, better than we
It
have
doesn't-
leftover.
Doesn't go, it doesn't go to waste.
No.
Okay,
So how many?
300 small, okay,
300.
of the
Yeah, the
little ones.
little people waste the big, the 12 ounces like this. They
Yeah, no,
waste
the
it.
little one, the little
No,
one.
they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, and so then next we're ordering high tops, so we have 15 high top tables with the black cloth,
Mhm.
and then we have 5 rectangular tables with the black cloth. Did you
No,
say?
2 for 6.
Oh, you added one more?
6, I added one more because we need 2 for the food, 2 for the food. We're gonna have 2 stations of food.
Okay,
Because if not everybody will be at the same place. We need a registration table and the drinks.
Alright.
So that's 6.
so that's gonna change to 6, I put 5. Okay, and also with black cloth table.
Yeah, black.
And then the chairs, we don't know how many, but we were thinking about putting them in the
Where there
layout,
is space along the wall.
right?
But along the wall, we said the food,
I
and on the
know,
other wall, the food.
I know, but
I
when.
thought the
if
food we're
there's
doing
not-
outside.
Yeah,
No, we can't because
Too crowded, not
think
enough
of
room.
200 people in that little foyer, you know?
Mm.
What we were thinking is having 2 tables, 4 tables of food and 2 stations. So 2 of the tables are gonna be underneath the big screen. And there you can serve from both sides. Since you've got the warmers, people can go from both sides to serve.
Who's
Yeah,
gonna be
need that.
serving this food?
Well, that's it. That's the other thing.
I thought you already had a list of who's doing what.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
well,
But I
that's-
think, to be honest with you, most of the time, the people are gonna be serving their own food.
No, that's up to you guys, I mean.
Well, because, you know, I mean,
That's
let's see how
gonna be-
many people show up and have we.
And
can
this is-
control that.
How about kids in the
You know
home
what, maybe we can do the registration.
Is there any way we can reach out to like the local high schools?
We do have kids.
Okay, hold on,
Please,
wait, one at a time.
please.
Yeah. Can we finish with what we need,
Yeah,
and then we go,
And
who's
then
doing
we'll go
what?
back to
Yeah,
that,
'cause
please.
who's
So we
doing
never
what's
get
gonna
through all
be-
of it. We don't
It's
go-
gonna be a
So
lot.
it'll be 6 tables.
Six tables of the rectangular ones with
Right.
the black tablecloth. And so the chairs, we just need
You guys just have to give me a number and we'll figure out where to put the
Okay,
chairs.
let's say 50.
50, yeah. I mean,
That's gonna take up a lot of space.
How many do we have for the book thing?
But are you
We had
thinking,
about 50.
are you
About
thinking
50.
of
you
the
spread them
chairs
out?
that fold?
No,
Or the
because
ones
if
that are
you,
there?
if we get full, then you have to rent them. What we have is what we have.
Those are
But
so
here's what I'm
heavy.
thinking,
They
we
are
could put them
big.
against the wall, because for the event that we did with the Miami Bar Association, we had like 200
No,
people there.
yeah, but
But we
remember.
were able to move them around after, that's what we did, because there
Yeah.
was no way of guessing how many chairs
Okay,
we
but
needed.
remember a couple of things. When you're looking at the podium, there's gonna be the balloons with the flag and Venezuela and all of that, right there. Part of that podium is there. Then you're gonna look to the left and the DJ is gonna be there where the flags are.
We can
Then you're
fit
gonna
them,
look at the
yeah.
other left side and you're gonna have the little stage that's 8 feet, right? 8 by 4, okay? Underneath, between the 2 screens on the side, okay? Then over here, under the big screen, you're gonna have the table, 2 tables for the food. And then where the windows are, you're gonna have another 2 tables with food.
I get it, but for them to
So-
set it up, it's easier just to tell them, put the chairs against the wall, and so when we get here like an hour before, what we did for the other event was we just stacked them, the ones we had left over,
Those are heavy.
and we moved them.
Well, we're, I mean, just for, you know, to
You're
get
gonna
through
need
the
the map.
agenda, us 3 can talk after and
Yeah,
just go
yeah,
over
yeah,
the
we'll do
layout.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Maybe you should do the food out, just a suggestion outside,
Outside.
like we did.
No, you
for-
They are
can't.
doing-
Listen,
well, they're
listen,
doing half
listen
the
what's
food
happening.
outside.
Listen what's happening outside.
Of the food
Outside, we're
items.
gonna have the table for the registration.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the table for the sodas. We're gonna have the gelato guy. We're gonna have the Miss Doña Chicha guy. We're
Oh.
gonna have the sponsor.
sponsors.
You have a lot
across the
going on.
oh, we
table.
have a lot outside, yeah,
We have a lot.
That's why we
For Black
divided
History,
half.
we did it outside and it was great.
but we didn't have so many people doing stuff.
No, I mean,
Okay,
you don't know, you don't know.
alright, so the
Let's
chairs
show
are
up
gonna
and have
decide
another
once we
lunch.
get into
Okay,
the layout,
alright.
because apparently we have a lot more than what we're counting on. Alright, so tablecloths, yes, we said 15 for the high tops, color black, and then cloth, right, and then 6 for for the rectangular tables. That needs to change.
Who has our tablecloth?
They do.
They're
The
gonna
black, the black rectangle one,
No, the
we
one that
provide.
has our name on it?
That one's there,
Oh,
in
that's-
it's in council chambers. You guys can use that one for your
You
registration.
need
Check
that
it.
one. I don't
Up
know.
front, yeah.
I put it on there.
Just ask me for it. I have it put away so that nobody grabs it. Just ask me for it when you're about to check in and I'll give it to you. It's downstairs.
Right, and so for the dishware, plates, utensils.
Excuse me a minute, Renee. Charles, we need you at the soda station.
Come in.
Perfect.
Bye, Charles.
Okay, so for the dishware, plates, utensils, napkins, and cups, I already ordered that from
That's right
Amazon.
behind
So I have it here. There's some in my cart. I'll not leave without giving it to you.
Okay.
And then the napkins, we needed to order more.
No, we're fine. 500.
So, because I asked if we had extra, and I think it's for somebody else.
The ones that I gave you guys, I pulled from some, like, if
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
but
from the committee.
you bought 500.
Yeah, but we have a lot of people. I'm not sure. It's just like one of them.
Yeah, but it says 500 there.
You think that's sufficient?
Well, it's not expensive. but not
Because we were
so
counting with
expensive.
having leftovers, but we don't have any leftovers now.
Okay.
So I don't know if we want to order another stack because it's just like this, even though it's 500 now.
Let me know what they look like.
Where are they?
Right there, right in the
Okay,
box, okay?
okay.
Yeah, there it is. There it
Well, you all can make.
It looks like,
Oh, yeah, no, I suggest another
is.
one.
Okay, well, no,
Another one of these. Okay, so I have another one of these. One more.
All right,
Okay, and then food trays and food warmers, we already have when we ordered them, they're there.
there they are.
And then the only thing else we need is the beer, which they called me today from Total Wine in Pembroke. They have it, we have to go pick it up. It's gonna be 100 cans of the beer.
Cans of cerveza polar.
The Venezuelan
Venezuelan.
polar beer.
I have a quick question for you guys. If it's 100 cans and you have 200 people coming in, it's obviously not enough for everybody to have one beer. Last year, what we did, and I think what you guys have done previously, is a sample. You're not giving them a full beer. But if that's the case, just make sure somebody's there to serve that. And somebody needs to be making sure that it's 21 plus
Yeah.
because, yeah, so I'm just saying those are things that need to be assigned.
So for Black History, we checked IDs and we did
Yeah,
wristbands.
I can
for
provide the
everybody.
wristbands
Yes.
for you guys.
So we
So
can
we
do
need to
that.
put
Yeah,
wristbands
yeah.
on there.
That was, you don't have the
They
wristband. You
work
have to put a
before, they're
wristband.
working
You
again.
have a wristband, then you can have a,
Ramirez, you're gonna have to have Charles.
yeah, I can help them. I just can't stay for the entire
The
event.
entire thing, well. we'll have
But I
to-
can stay for a
That's
while,
what
and
we-
I can come to set up
Okay.
before.
Yeah,
Well,
fine. Oh,
I
I can be here at 5.
I think what we need also is the sign-up list of who's gonna
Yeah.
do what that.
Right,
means.
she.
Esther-
Everybody got it? Okay.
Sorry, because her voice is gone, but she can help Charles.
Good.
Esther-
No, I'll help Charles and then we can, if I have to go.
Okay, so- And then the
I'll-
I'll be
next,
here for a
The
while.
question was raised earlier regarding volunteers to help with the serving. And we were saying that because they are youth volunteers, that they can't be around alcohol, is that the?
You cannot have the.
No, but they'll be
And even if you have
inside
youth,
with the food
you're gonna have to assign somebody. from
But
the
if they're
committee
only
to, like-
serving the food, would that have, wouldn't that,
That's fine, but you have to confirm. At this point, I don't know if you're, I
That's
mean,
pretty
that's
good.
fine. That's on you
Yeah.
guys to coordinate from here to 3 days from now. I don't think that that's a good idea, but if you guys feel like you can pull it off, you're more than welcome to. Somebody from cultural affairs has to keep an eye on those volunteers though, because they are kids and they are around alcohol and adults.
Charles did a good job last time at our early event, when we had the students and we had the wine.
I can get it cleared with staff just so that there's no issue, and I can send you an email tomorrow morning saying,
Yeah,
yes, you
tell
can
them-
use,
Tell them that
underage volunteers. I think it's a little tricky
and they're
because you
just
have a lot
serving
of
food.
adults.
they'll
They're
be
serving
inside
food,
the
that's all.
chamber, they will not be near. the-
But that means I'm just
Yeah.
raising, the point that somebody has to be keeping an eye on them because that's a liability you're talking about.
All right. We got any volunteers who'll help with that? I'll help. Anybody else? Alicia? Elizabeth? We're drafting you. We need you to help with the
And I
young
have a-
people who
a
are gonna
minor.
serve the food.
Yeah, but we
Okay.
first have to find the young people.
So then we're also requesting from
Is
the
that
town.
gonna be difficult to get the young people at this point?
Well,
I
know
today-
short notice.
Yeah, today's
What, do we
Wednesday.
have a
How do you
contact of
usually
where
do
we're
it?
going?
We have a
or-
contact we can reach out to. I'm just not making any promises because
No,
I
that's
don't
fine,
know.
but let's reach out to them and see if we can.
I'm gonna
because
get it
everybody-
cleared
These
first
kids are looking
Okay.
for
and then I'll
hours.
let you guys know.
So how many we talking about? 4, 5, 6?
Well, let's see how many, but I'm not counting on them, I'm counting on the
Of
committee.
course,
Well,
yeah.
we're also gonna assign everybody on the committee to be here to work with us, to try to make this thing work, because it's often.
What time to what time is the event?
Okay, the event
Five.
opens at 6,
Uh-huh.
so I'm gonna be here Trinette is gonna be here at 5 p.m.
Okay,
because
I
I
can
have
be
the
here at
balloon
5.
lady coming.
What
We have
time is the
the
balloon
food
lady
coming.
come?
The food,
And the balloon lady, because she needs. to-
5.
It gives her time?
Bueno, that's the
5 to
only
6
time
she'll be
that aisle can open.
We
She
can
said
open,
she's gonna bring a lot of it already done.
Yeah, they do.
That's what
Okay,
they do,
so
they
that
put it
way
together.
she.
An
yeah,
hour
she
is
knows.
more than enough
Yeah,
time.
she knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until what time is the event also, so that I can
Until
see if I can get.
9.
All right.
Until 9.
Okay.
Well, I
I'm
have
gonna
to
see if I
let
can-
Just
somebody
everybody,
else.
please, who is sitting at this table tonight, commit to come and volunteer where you need it. And I'm
And
coming
stay
to
the
do it.
whole event time?
And yeah, whatever time you can
Can
do.
everybody?
Oh, it has
But
to
if
be-
everybody
we have
commits
to
to
pick
come
up at
and
the
just
end.
wherever you're directed to be,
I can
just
come
do that.
in.
Yeah, let me know
Set
when
up
I get
the
to
Ruth, are you
I
available?
can be here early.
Ruth is gonna be
Ruth
here.
is available.
She's available, great.
Okay, well, this is what I did. Are you finished with?
No, we have to finish with this.
Go right
So
ahead.
then for the resources, we need 2 janitorial people, right? And it's $15 an hour. And then handyman for room setup and breakdown, we also need to get one of those.
yeah, for the stage.
Oh, for the stage, because
The
we're having
stage and
a
the chairs
a
and the
stage,
tables you guys want.
we need to have that as well.
Okay.
And there's a cost to that, 85 an hour, you said?
Yes, starting this
How many
fiscal
hours
year,
do we
I don't
do?
know if I sent it to you guys, but it's on this list, starting this year, you have to make sure to budget for your breakdown and
Breakdown and
setup.
cleanup, yeah.
So that
Okay.
was, okay, so we have those additional costs that we want.
All right, we'll move to go ahead and add those additional costs for the cleanup and setup people.
I second that motion.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, great. We'll put that in the budget and make sure we got that taken care of. Go right ahead.
And then there's also room for like a videographer and DJ, but we hired our DJ already.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering, for the video, Felicia, do we need to hire somebody or how does that work? Because we do need to have a
The
screen
display of them.
for the display of the
I
Venezuela.
given the copy of all the videos, there's about 10 of them. The longest one is like the one about the history of Venezuela. And the other ones are like 2-3 minutes that we could be playing.
that'll go on a loop, right?
Yeah, the key is to have someone monitor in case something, gets stuck or whatever, the sound, so people can listen to when they're talking or singing.
So that's
Well-
what we need. We just need.
Yeah, what we can do for free is just play it and it'll be done, because I can do that, but
Yeah.
if it's troubleshooting, then you need to call IT and that's a cost.
Right, because there's another item here for IT tech and it's like $35 to $70 an hour to get somebody for IT, but I think all we need is a videographer.
If it's just to turn it on, I can turn it on for you, but after that,
That's
All we
it.
can do is
That's
test it. When we
Yeah.
come here early, we test it to see how it works. We'll have enough
I think we're gonna have so much activity
It is.
going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that we won't need a IT tech to do it. Just
Okay, yeah,
turn
it's
the
just
video.
to have that.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it.
Yeah,
in the
that's it.
order that we want it.
Yeah.
Right, and so
Alright.
my question too, do we need microphones? Because we have a DJ, doesn't he have his own?
He'll bring a microphone.
Okay, and
a
everybody
portable
else has their own
Yeah.
stuff, so we
Yeah.
really don't need any audio. Okay, I think we're done with that, and then the stage, so there's a second page, on the third page, the stage that we were requesting.
yeah, and we talked about it. so
Yeah, we
you
talked
guys are
about
good.
it.
All right.
Okay, I think that's it.
Anything else? Elsa?
Okay, yes, a couple of things. One is, I kind of wrote, some notes. Well, 5 p.m. we're gonna open the doors, okay? For everything, the delivery of food, the balloons, everything. We'll be, Trinette and I will be here. Trinette, do you have the lighter, like the barbecue lighter? So that we could light up the
I have
little what?
Sternum.
Sternum.
Oh, the sternals,
The
you want,
sternals.
not
No.
the lighter.
You
No,
talking
no.
about the lighter?
The
So
lighter,
we
You need a
light the
lighter
sternum.
to turn on
You
the
have
sternum.
sternals, you just need the lighter?
Exactly, no, we have this sternum.
Okay, I'll bring you the
Just the
lighter.
light.
Do you have extra sternum? Because I don't know if that runs out.
What?
Extra ones.
They last for a few hours, if you need to get more, I can
No,
go to.
no, no.
And
Party
please be
Center.
careful when we dispose of them.
No, we should be fine. We
Yeah,
should be fine.
okay.
Plus the food comes warm already, anyway, okay? 5:30 p.m., we need all the members that are gonna be helping to be here present, please. At 6 p.m., we're gonna open the registration table. Madeline,
Yes, ma'am.
Elizabeth, Ermi. Okay, for registration, at least 3 people, in case we get everybody. coming
At the
at same-
registration is where we're gonna put the wristband. to
Yes,
check
and
if
check
you're
IDs.
21.
Yes,
At the registration?
yes, that's what we did last
That'd
time.
be easier,
That's
yeah.
the easiest place to do it.
But what if somebody doesn't wanna drink beer?
Well, but
It
they
doesn't
still
matter.
need to have it
They
because
still
we
need
have
to have it.
alcohol.
Also, then we know.
So then we know who we
Because
can and
if
cannot give.
somebody has
Yes.
alcohol or beer in their hand, then
They
it's
don't have a
different.
green tag or
Well, we
whatever.
did some event, that's the way that the bartender, remember the
Yeah,
lady that
yeah,
brought the
yeah,
alcohol, that's
yeah.
how she recommended we do it, and it
Yeah,
worked out
it
well.
worked out
Okay.
well.
So then I will get us
The wristbands, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a bunch of-
Elsa, do you think one table would be enough for 3 people doing the registration?
Yeah,
Yes,
We have to.
squish in
we
there.
have to do, we can't put
space.
more tables out there, we have a lot of tables.
I don't know if the registration may be easier to do it with a laptop because you have 200 people, so when they're asking you their name, you could just control F and find them.
Well, it's in last name. I mean, it's organized by last
It's
name.
like
By last
organized in
name.
alphabetical order, right?
Yeah, it's by
My
last
last
name.
name, not
Right.
first name.
You
They
have
know.
it.
Well, the other thing it
They know,
does, if you're using paper, at least you've got 3 people.
Yeah,
with
no.
3 people with paper, and they can easily
So I'll give you 3 copies.
get
of
somebody.
this.
to- So
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
let's
please.
do that. Stay with
Okay.
that. What
Now,
works?
food stations, we have to have people oversee the food stations. I know that I'm gonna be looking at the food, because the idea is, we have 6 containers that are coming with the chicken, the congri, and the maduros. Those are going to be warm. The rest can be cold, doesn't have to be warm. But we might not be able to put all those trays out at the same time. We might be able to keep
Going
some
back
in the
and forth.
kitchen
Yeah,
back there.
kitchen.
Mhm.
So that way we have to keep an eye, once we're running out of something, then we have to replace it.
But we also have to keep an eye because you don't know people, they put something in the food, so you have to have somebody there
No,
from the
we're gonna
committee
have-
overlooking, you
Yeah,
know?
there's
Yeah.
gonna have to be people next to those tables all the time.
Just, yeah, with an eye on the food.
Oh,
on
we
the-
have
on
the-
the-
Yeah, one person per
Would they
table.
cut the chicken?
At least one person.
Serving gloves. Serving gloves.
Okay.
Bring the gloves. Okay, great.
Bring the gloves.
Felicia's gonna take the photos and the videos,
Okay.
okay?
You did a great job.
Oh, all right. I
Good.
contacted Leandro Pedro. He's one of our parishioners, and what they do is they cook every week for Camilla's house.
Okay.
I told Leandro to be here at 8:30. In case we have food left over, if it's okay with the committee, it's gonna go to Camilla's house.
Oh, great.
Well, that's
Okay.
good, so we don't have to
Great.
do
Because
anything
I
back.
don't like seeing food, being left like that. Now, if anybody from the committee wants a doggy bag, then bring your little plastic.
Bring your
container,
own.
Okay, and you can take
Take a
whatever,
little,
you want. So he's gonna be here for that.
Excellent.
And then I suggest that if we get here early enough, maybe we can eat before the people start coming in. Give us a chance to bite on enjoy some of the food before the doors open.
I'll eat all the gelato.
Yeah.
You don't get it out.
All right.
Oh, another thing, the napkins and the utensils. If someone from the committee can do us a favor and wrap 200 of them, the fork, knife, and napkins, and bring it already wrapped, because that way people grab it, it's a lot easier.
What do you think? I don't know if you're gonna use all of them.
Francisca is gonna give me 60 already wrapped, okay? So I think we should wrap them, and just, we'll put them out. I have
But is
a,
that people sometimes just grab like a fork and not the spoon and all that? Oh.
no spoon. You need a knife to cut the
A knife and a
chicken.
fork.
The
That's all you
knife-
need. You
Yeah,
need a
that's
spoon.
it, the knife and the fork. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Knife and fork. Otherwise, people are gonna be touching. You don't want,
Yes.
you want people touching the
No.
forks
No,
and the knives?
one
No.
thing, I agree, one thing.
Take it out, take it out, take it out. And if by any chance you have a little ribbon that might be red or the colors of
Hey,
All right, so who wants to
or
volunteer?
yellow or whatever, then
You wanna do it?
I'll have my kids do it.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I give them community service for that?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And her kids wouldn't be an
Extra
issue
credit and
because
all
she's
that
the guardian is gonna be your her
Excellent.
kids.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are they allowed
to Okay.
for-
I'm sorry?
Are they allowed to come to volunteer on Saturday?
Yeah,
When you
they
say-
can come and
That's
volunteer,
what
but we
you're-
have to wait for
She's
I-
high school.
We have to wait.
Yeah, but she could-
But she, they're your kids,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
Her students.
Her
No, her
students.
students.
So that kid.
Okay, I need to confirm that
Yeah,
we're
she needs
okay
to
with
confirm,
having.
yeah.
underage
They don't have to be in the food area, but if you need them to set stuff up, then
No,
I
the
can
setup
have
is
them
Yeah,
already
here.
But
done.
I'll get clearance to avoid
then,
any
you know.
issues and I can email.
And at
you
the
guys.
same time, I don't need a lot of kids either, because, we have to control, we have enough people in the committee too to help. So I think if you're gonna bring any of the kids, maybe I would say 4, 6, I wouldn't go any more than 6.
Would you like me to volunteer?
Yes, please, that would be great.
Yes,
We'll give you hours.
Because you know your kids.
And Venezuela.
Hey!
Another volunteer.
Okay.
You can help her with serving the food and whatever, you
Yeah.
know, please. Good, thank you. All right, what else?
Okay, at the end, we need someone to take those utensils home, wash them and keep them for us for the next meeting.
Only
We
the
don't want to
serving
lose
one.
those, the
The
serving
serving
one,
one.
not the utensils,
No,
the
no, no, the
serving. We
serving
don't want
one.
to lose them, like we always do.
We're
No,
gonna-
no, I'm sorry, not the utensils, the serving.
Yeah, we only have
Because we
tongs
lost
and,
them.
and like some.
No, we got a bunch of them, we got a lot, and we have the thumbs.
Those will probably break, they're not that strong, I don't think.
Well, they're not gonna break. but
If
we
they
want-
survive,
Let's go.
All right,
Please.
let's move on, please.
Okay, now, there is a performer that I contacted, he contacted Al because he saw Telemundo, and then I spoke with him. He is Mambo Miami. He's like a pit bull, a Venezuelan pit bull. And he's a lot of fun.
But the best part is.
The best part is that in Mambo Miami comes,
Oh.
is Andre and a girl. I already dressed them. I told them how they had to dress. That would be free.
Yeah.
If we go with Las Gaitas Zulianas, which are very popular, you know, that would be an $800 fee for that, it's 6 people.
Is that
$800.
is that the one that we had already agreed upon?
No.
This is new. that
No,
you have.
no, this is somebody new. We had agreed on the girl as the dancer, the
Right.
folklore dancer, and she's free. She is coming she'll dance at 7. And I was thinking of if the committee is fine with that, this mambo group to come and sing, they'll just sing
so
perform
do
for
we have
half
an
an hour.
agenda when who what goes to?
For half an hour.
Great, let's go.
Don't do it for half an hour.
There was 2 people free though, it was the Mambo people and then the other,
The fourth.
the teacher, yeah.
The lady.
The lady, yeah.
Yeah, she
That's the
mentioned that.
dancer,
Because I
that
already,
lady.
Elsa provided me with the order.
The schedule
So,
and.
Yeah, so we're gonna put a program together based on that.
Okay.
Right, because the one that we were originally looking at, he wouldn't go down from the 1,500.
We're gonna party. We're gonna party, people. We're gonna party.
All right, anything that we can do for free that we don't have to add additional,
Okay, so I'm gonna tell them that
To our
because we
budget,
have
that's
spent
okay.
all our money already.
well, maybe they'll come
Well,
and
we
do it
can-
for
He
a
said
nominal fee,
well,
that's
yeah.
less than what they usually charge.
No, he said it would be free. The
Okay,
program will be
okay,
free.
that one's, we understand that, but the other one that you were talking about, that was $800.
Well, no, he wants to promote him, you know, promotion and all of that. I told him, bring your thing. Let's see, let's
Let's
see
see.
at the end what
All right,
happens.
let's see,
Okay, so I'm gonna be calling the Mambo people, okay?
all right. Anything else?
Mambo is a yes.
Everybody else is confirmed?
What is the Mambo Miami?
Mambo Miami.
The only thing I have one question for you is based on the programs, how many do you want us to print?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. It's gonna be cumbersome. Then.
Do you want programs? I mean, it's up to you.
No, we want programs because we wanna make sure you put the sponsors, we wanna
Well,
make sure
the
we.
Yeah, have
sponsors,
some there.
the sponsors weren't, I don't think that they were promising anything on printed because we updated our sponsorship packages,
Okay.
so I'll double check.
But
But if it's only for that,
Yeah.
you let me know.
And not only that, these
Well-
people that are performing free, it's always nice to
Yeah.
show.
So,
that
yeah,
Let me
they
ask you a
have
question,
have
can
them
we
at the
do like
registration
an
table.
itinerary and have it on a poster board at the entrance so people know what we're doing and then like that they can see the, yeah,
Nobody's
because.
gonna look at that, it's 200 people.
Well, you have
coming
to
out.
pay to get it.
Yeah, but you get it done at Kinko's. We did it for the Miami Lakes.
Right,
College
so when they
Association.
walk in, at least, you know, people
Expensive.
be like, oh, who did this?
You guys are kind of over budget already, so
Yeah, I
know we're
that's all I'm
over budget.
saying.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll pay for it.
let's reflect on what we've done in the past, and it was very, very successful. When we celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month, last year with the Nicaraguan diaspora. The previous year, it was with the Colombian,
Colombia.
the previous year with the Cuban. And we never had a written program to be passed out to anybody because it was just a celebratory thing. And so I would suggest that we consider not worrying about doing a program. We can have an internal program so we all know what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
But
let's
as
just
far
do a
as
few.
printing, going and printing and said, okay, here's,
If we could do like 50 of those and that's it, and just put them out, let's do 50 and
50,
put them
okay, that's
out.
all I
Yes,
needed to know.
Do 50.
Okay.
And And that way, because I think people that are coming and performing free, they'll like to see that at least their names are mentioned, you know?
All right. Shall we move?
Oh, Esther, so you're coming to help, Charles, right? Feel better,
I'm
okay?
doing the solar station with Charles.
Oh, we
But
got-
there's a couple stations.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Mention that on social media too. that they're-
The what?
Okay.
Sorry?
Yeah, right, we just got that for us to mention the people that are performing free.
And the
Social
time,
media.
so they
Well, we
know.
could do, we're gonna do an event recap, so
Right.
at that point, we can tag them if they provide their social media.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
Is that it? We need to cover regarding, everybody will be here. What time you want to see again? At 5:30?
5 o'clock.
No, no. At 6, we're opening the door.
At 5 here.
At 5.
All right, 4:45,
Yeah,
everybody,
but
please.
is
be
it
here.
gonna be open?
Janitorial will be here at 4:45, I can let her know to be here. for
Okay, please.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else? You all done a great job. Thank your parents and your grand.
Oh, yes, they put
Arrangement.
together-
I just saw it just for that. It's gonna be
Yeah, it
really
has a
good.
meaning to it. So the way that they set it up
The
was
colors.
in the colors of the
Yeah, I
flag,
like
right, the
that.
bases,
I
which
like
are
that.
actually candles. And so the orchid, it's like the national flower
Flower.
for Venezuela.
Okay.
Wow.
And then like it has obviously the flag, and then it has a butterfly, but the butterfly is like for progress and
Yeah,
success. So it goes through its metamorphosis. So the same way the country, you know, for it can like go through its own metamorphosis.
Well, I'm sure you all will
Maybe
place
all
them
the
in,
metamorphosis.
you all will place them in an appropriate area
Well,
so
they're
they
gonna
can
be
be
on
They're
seen.
gonna
top
be
of the
on
high
top of the tables, on
On
the
the high
on the
tops.
high
On the
tops.
high tops?
Yeah,
15 of them?
15 we
Yes.
got
Oh,
them.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really nice.
And then the
All right.
balloon lady is doing some centerpieces for where the food is or the drinks, you know, she's doing 6 of those.
All right.
And we have-
Do we have any other thing to cover
The
with
whole
Hispanic
thing
Heritage
is
Month?
$400.
Maybe you can raffle this.
Let's move on, ladies. We got 2, 3, or 4 more items to cover. 2 more items. 3 as a matter of fact. Listen, thank you all so very much for what you're doing to make this happen. And we are there to support you in any way you need us. So just reach out to us and ask, you know, and we'll be there to be there. Most of them will be here at 4:45 today. All right? Is everybody committed? We all
Yes.
committed. Yes,
Yes.
good, good.
Yes.
All
I'm
right,
still
shall we
thinking
move?
about
For the
whether we
record, I'm
should-
really tomorrow for New York.
That's no excuse.
All
All right,
For the record.
okay.
And let me thank Ermi.
Ernest, thank you.
Look at the nice flag. It's
Look
like a
at
lot.
that.
Better
Yeah.
quality than what I thought it would be, and it's so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh, my goodness, that's
You gonna
gorgeous.
take a picture?
And it has both sides on it. It's very cool.
Now we have to bring something to tie it.
We gotta figure out where we're gonna
I
put
have
it.
some
on.
tie.
But it's like.
Let me see, what does it have to tell? Okay.
I have
It's
some.
a,
Fish, the fish.
Oh, the
Fish
fish.
net.
I don't see it. I have, I'll bring it.
Fish net.
Well, I'll bring a
Yeah.
couple of the tie dyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Or zip lock.
Zip tie,
Zip
zip
tie.
tie.
Those work. Those clear.
They're clear?
Yeah.
No, mine are white or black.
No, this is not clear.
What are we attaching it to?
We don't know. We have to see
We
when she
gotta
does
see
the
because the
balloon.
balloon lady has like stuff
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
too. She's doing the balloon decor.
Oh, okay, fishnet will work because you can tie it around the balloons and you can't see it. You can see, what is it called?
Fish line.
Fish line.
Fish net. Oh, my goodness.
That's something else.
The flag at the foyer, I like that idea.
All right.
The flag at the foyer.
Well,
we have-
it needs to be somewhere
Yeah,
prominently
but you
displayed
can
where
see
people can see it
inside.
when they walk in.
The foyer.
All right. Thank you all.
Are
Thank
we
you so
missing
very much.
anything else?
Anything else you need to add?
No, I think we're good.
I think
We'll be
we're good.
there.
I think we're good.
Live and in living color. All right. The next item on the agenda is the CAC budget for the 22-23 budget for this year, for the fiscal year, which starts October 1.
You all have
It's
a
already
copy
started.
in your hand.
We all have a-
So we have it here in our hand. And so because the time is moving pretty quickly, we need to, I think, table this and then come back and look at it at our next meeting so that we can
Yes.
have give the time that we need to really determine what we're gonna add and how we're gonna fund it and all that. So I'll entertain a motion to
I'd like
table
to-
that.
Make a motion to table the
Budget?
discussion of the budget for our next meeting in November.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Although, is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that item is, all right. We now have a report coming from the subcommittee mission statement report and its recommendation. Did you share that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
What is it that you want? Which one?
The minutes that you said,
Oh, wait a minute.
Suzanne, didn't you write that up?
Huh?
Suzanne?
Where?
Did I write it out?
No,
I know,
did you
but
take
it's
the
not
minutes?
here.
No.
Let me look, let me look.
Yeah.
Elsa was here that year.
Yes, I took the minutes and I sent them to, wow.
Al, do you have the?
The what?
I saw
The
them on
minutes?
the.
Well, the update on that was that it's gonna remain the same and you guys just wanted
Yeah,
to
but I-
separate mission, whatever's on the website to keep it as is, just let there be a clear identifier that one is a mission and the other one is like, breaking
Ah,
down what
here
the
it
website.
is.
If you want, I can open it
She
and
got it.
confirm
You
that
got
it's
it.
ready.
All right,
Okay, I don't know if all of you got it.
Did not.
Basically.
Assume that nobody
yes.
got it. Go ahead and go through
Basically, we discussed, what the purpose of the mission statement is, and there is a short sentence that describes what the purpose of the committee is. And then we decided that, that as the same, but to clarify, because I think the confusion was that the resolution is one thing and the mission statement is something else, and they combine them together, so people thought the whole thing was the mission statement. So basically,
Clarify on the website.
yeah, clarify on the website. So
what's
basically,
the
we made a
recommendation?
motion to keep the original mission statement as printed. And, let's see. Because in the website, it mentions, I think it's in the resolution. The resolution says to create. Decide that a committee be created to establish a cultural identity and activities that will further the development of the climate of art, music, theater, recreation, and classes, etc. That is the resolution. The mission statement basically is to provide and promote cultural activities within the town of Miami-Lakes for the benefit and education of its citizens and those in the surrounding community. That
Great.
is the mission statement.
All right, so what is your recommendation? What is the committee's recommendation?
The subcommittee's
What are we
recommendation was to keep it
I
the
know,
same.
I want her to make the motion so that we can second it, and because it's a report that comes
Yeah.
from the committee that has to come from the subcommittee, it has to come to the full committee for us to affirm it or reject it. So that's what I wanted her to do. What is their recommendation? So you have it?
The mission is, as recommended by the subcommittee, to keep the mission statement as is
All right,
and clarify.
And to clarify.
Clarify on the website, the town website, the resolution versus the mission statement.
all right. I'll second the motion. Is there any discussion?
I'm sorry. So we're not changing, just clarifying it.
Clarifying.
We're not
the
adding.
resolution, no, we're not changing the mission. The mission is the same.
All right.
Keep it simple.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the recommendation from the subcommittee for the mission statement and the resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The resolution, the recommendation passes unanimously. And thank you all for the work that you put in to bring it back to us. So again, thank you again. All right, we have here the calendar of events. I think we can table that until the next meeting too, because
It's not even here.
Yeah, we don't have it here, they didn't attach it.
okay,
They attach it, I have it.
So good idea.
I can email it to you.
please.
We've already discussed it, so it's copied and pasted. I will send it to you.
All right, thank you.
So we're tabling that.
Yes, ma'am. Table. Yeah, motion to table. If you make that motion to that.
Yes, I motion that we table the CAC event calendar to our next meeting in November.
I second that.
It's been second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that are opposed? we will table that item until our next meeting. And I simply wanted to put on here the CAC's marketing and publicizing efforts. It paid off because you can see what you were able to do with the author. And so we just need to continue to do that and for every event, and then we're confident that we'll have a large audience to be at the events. And that's what we are striving for, because again, we have to show the town that we are bringing people to these events, and we have great artists and great presenters. And so let's continue to do that. Go right ahead.
I recommend Elsa as a liaison with the Lakers. She has a good rapport with. the
Yes, she
Lakers.
does. Elsa, would you continue to be our liaison with the Lakers?
Yes, that's fine, that's
Great.
fine.
Yeah, because you know,
Yeah.
okay, both of you. Between the two of you.
Yeah, we could just take turns, whatever.
There's
you
a
know,
dynamic to it.
event. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Neil, for the marketing and publicizing efforts, like, do we already have a flyer for the jazz in the park so we can start?
No, she
No,
said we should have it by the
said
end of the
working on
week.
it.
Oh,
We need to do that immediately.
Yeah.
No,
because
she said
she's-
I also.
We already started working on it. It's the agent that had some
And she's
tweaks, so we
sending
need
me
to
the bio and the
based on that.
picture so I can forward it to Linda and we're trying to get in that.
Okay,
Do that one, because I'm gonna be in a plan. I don't know until when. I mean, I need your help with the November. Man, I'm gonna miss.
The jazz in the
budget
park?
and the events. No, the minutes.
Oh,
I'm not gonna be here.
Okay, I'll be here by November.
I'll be here too, so. I can-
well,
Yeah.
if I need to follow up with the Laker, because the lady keeps calling me.
No,
as
the
well,
Laker,
I'm just
Suzanne is
saying.
gonna take care of.
She's
it.
talking about taking the minutes.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
For the next
okay, great.
I don't know how long I-
All right, is there any other items to come? Oh,
Oh, when you just said about the marketing, also, I know I've said it before, but not only come to the events, but try to bring some people with you.
Right.
So you, like Ruth comes, but and she also tries to rev up 3-4 people.
Yes.
I know I asked 15 and I got 6, you
I
know.
don't think-
Our
yeah,
teacher was
that's-
excellent.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
you're
I was gonna
about-
say, I have now a contact.
I'm gonna invite the
So,
teacher, she'll bring everybody.
you ask a lot more than can actually come most
Exactly.
often, but you know, I asked 15 people and I got 6, so that's 6 more people. So.
okay.
Does it have at the event showing?
The last item on the
I
agenda is,
mean, may I say
Because-
something?
Because
Please.
they-
Because I was gonna invite
they-
people, I'm like, okay, it's sold out.
Yeah, yeah.
Send people.
Just show up.
We are not gonna send people away.
We never send
Oh,
people
I
away.
do have a question. Did you do anything with channel 6?
We told them, we asked them if they could do a recap.
A recap of the
Ah.
event, since we're already like full.
A recap? What do you mean, after?
After.
the event?
Like
Oh,
cover
okay.
the event. and do
So
the
in other
recap.
words, nothing. it
Nothing
wasn't open.
promoting, yeah.
No, and we didn't open anymore.
No.
We
No.
left it at 200.
I invited
That's a lot
a
of
few,
people.
but it was maybe like committee members, like I didn't open it to the public. We
Okay.
added a few spots, but it was like committee members, it
Committee
wasn't.
Right, okay.
Right, because we have like 200, but we're counting on maybe 50 like before, so 100 like showing up. Does any add-on?
Well, let's see, because they're Latins.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're
I can
coming,
see
they're
that,
coming.
yeah.
oh, we don't have a
gonna
huge
get- it's gonna be a lot of
crowd, I'm
people.
telling you.
Because of Francisca over there,
They're promoting it?
Gabby, yeah, she told me, oh, some of our waiters are coming, and I said, have they registered? She goes, oh, I don't know. So,
Probably
that's what I'm
not,
saying.
but a lot of people don't, like they're registered, don't show
They're
up.
gonna come.
Exactly.
So we're not gonna turn
So
away.
what is the
No,
procedure when you're?
Ladies and
We're
gentlemen,
just gonna add them on. Wait, hold on a
ladies-
second. The
ladies.
people who are registering want to know what the procedure is
Okay,
if they show up and they're not on the list.
come on in.
Come
Right,
on.
if they show
Come on
up,
in.
then.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah.
You just
Not
write
turning
that down.
anybody
Make
away.
sure
Name and
you-
everything.
but-
There's always like good.
Just a
percentage of
suggestion
them
for
come.
you guys, it's like, let's say for some reason, the people on this list, most of them do show up and you're letting additional people in. Just keep in mind that then you're gonna go
Who's
over a
going on?
limit and that's a 215
Yeah.
capacity, and
Yeah.
you guys don't have sponsors on your list, you don't have some committee members on your list, you don't have the volunteers coming on your list. So those are things to keep in mind.
I
If
registered.
anything, you should have them wait if they're not on the list and give priority to those that are on.
Right.
the
We
list.
can do that too.
That would be my recommendation, but you guys can
Well,
decide whatever
think we-
fits best.
We've done enough of this to make sure that
Yeah, but we didn't
Right,
have, I'm sorry,
you're the.
we didn't have the publicity that we had with this
No,
one.
no, way back, pre-COVID, they did. You
Okay,
guys used to.
On channel 7 or channel 51.
The Colombian was the most packed one. We had like, it was fine. People could just walk in.
Another thing is I just took it upon myself and today I started sending texts to the
Yes.
Mayor Manny. You know, Jeffrey told you, right? Mayor Manny and Jeffrey and all of that. The only one that answered me was Jeffrey.
You can't say no else.
I know, Jeffrey was the only one that answered me. He said, I have something, but I'll go and say hello to people, you know, and welcome them.
And thank you
Good.
for that, because it is on their calendars and, I mean,
Yeah, but I
that
know-
doesn't mean that they
No, it
are.
doesn't.
So I think a personal touch always helps.
Yes, the
Yeah.
personal touch.
And
is
I want to add one more thing about the number of people. I'm not sure that they're aware that it's an inside event, because they're probably thinking it's an outdoor event, and that's why more people signed up for it.
In town hall.
We said every communication has ever gone out about the attendance, said it was gonna be in Town Hall 61, 66.
Because I was just curious, because with the book talk, nobody put on there it was Zoom. So we had a couple of people show up with a book, hoping to get autographed or written, and I'm like, no, it's gonna be via Zoom.
We said it was virtual, it was a virtual hybrid.
Ladies,
No, I mean, the flyer was shared and the feedback was
That's good.
given, so.
let's don't go back and reinvent the wheel. We've got a system in place that's working very well for us. And let's just go forward with this and hopefully, not hopefully, but I'm confident that we're gonna have a great turnout. And it's gonna be a great evening and it's gonna be a very festive evening. And so, all right, so is there any
But they're
other,
gonna swim until it counts.
any other issues coming before this body?
Remember that you lose me once the music starts. You lose me, guys.
Yeah, here we go. What's the name?
Catabella Express. request-
Calabella Express aisle.
I shared it with all of you, I believe, and that's just, a company that wants to get involved if possible at any of your events. They were just offering their services.
Okay, what nationality are they?
I'm not sure.
What
It has nothing
services?
to do with Hispanic heritage. That was
I
just
know
a
it doesn't
service.
have it, but I'm just
What
wondering
is it
whether.
that they do? What do they do?
I'll reshare it with you guys. It's something about a train.
Train slaves.
Oh, that's
the
the one, the
train.
train for kids, little kids, when they come out,
That's
they
the
go
one.
around. That's what that is.
Maybe at Christmas.
I was just sharing it with
You
you.
know
guys.
what I was thinking, that's right, maybe for Christmas, when we do the book signing, then they can go down Main
The
Street.
thing is that
Yeah,
we're doing the book thing at the Main Street Playhouse. I don't know if there's
Yes.
space for that there.
yeah, but they go down, we can get
Outside.
Like
the,
outside?
Yeah, outside.
On the
They can go,
cobblestones.
when they go around the circle, when they go.
Those off
station.
You just need to look at your budget, because I don't think you guys have money.
Oh, yeah.
Those
see how
Goes
much
off
he
the
charges?
cobblestone.
Okay.
Let me
Maybe the money.
Yes, go ahead.
It
sounds like a broken record.
Yeah.
Please.
I was talking about budget. How are we doing with the Hispanic thing?
I have a log, so I'm glad you brought that up. Just going forward, please know, 'cause I don't think we've had the issue with this committee, but other committees, failed to realize that the dollars, and we have somebody that you show it. Oh, well, you weren't doing budget, you were doing.
No, but I
Okay.
saw it.
Yeah, so not everything is in real time. Just because you charge something today doesn't mean that I'm gonna pull a report and you're gonna see it. Keep in mind that everything kind of works a month behind because we have to get a statement and it needs to be reconciled. So that's to say that right now on your budget, you're not seeing the full expense of Hispanic heritage.
I have
So-
like a rough draft.
However, I've been trying to be organized and keep a track, but I would suggest if you guys feel like that's gonna be an issue, that you're always working with a budget that's a month behind, have a treasurer and have them, keep log of every single expense. If not, you have to work off of a budget that's a month old.
Okay, so more or less.
But I do have a more or less.
Have been, yeah.
3,200 something.
Because it's 1,700 is the food.
Okay, so 1,700 with the food, then we're at 3,242. And then we're missing, the water and the beer.
I have everything minus water, beer and everything that's Renette ordered, and you guys are already at a deficit of $179.
Thank you.
100 and what?
$170.
Tell your friends, Bring some.
But that's not including, that's not including the beer.
The
Because
beer's
that has
enough.
to be. for
Why
Christmas.
can we get Fabricio to donate the water?
I didn't ask for the water. They
But I
denied
said
the
what?
beer.
As for the water, as for the soda, that isn't that much.
I can ask for the water,
Yeah.
but this beer, they said no.
No, I
Did
know,
you
but
reach
the
out
water
to
and
the,
the soda.
the representative office?
Yes, that's, yes,
Oh.
they're donating the soda.
Okay,
What
thank
is
you.
he donating?
The soda.
The soda, but he's not
$7.
approving the beer because it might be like.
Well, but tell them the water.
The water, you can do the water.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's fine, the beer I understand.
I'll ask him, yeah.
Please.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
All right, is there any other items?
I would like to bring up,
Yeah.
now that the new budget has started, what is the status of our shirts?
You guys had said that you were gonna table it to your new fiscal year,
Yeah.
so we're in the new fiscal year. If you wanna order the shirts, just make a motion and I will order them for you.
All right.
Can I make a motion?
But one thing to
No, they
know,
put
you
it
out
have
in
two
the
committee
budget.
members now.
Oh, we got,
Committee
well,
members.
You have
we-
two
okay,
committee members.
what we can do.
From last
is
time that we.
We
like,
can,
tallied
we can
it.
go ahead tonight and pass a motion that we will purchase new polo shirts with the cultural affairs insignia on it for all new members and those who haven't gotten one. All right, and all you all have to do is get with Isle and give her your size that you need.
She already has a list of them.
I have, but from the old ones,
Okay,
whoever.
but whoever the new people are,
Yeah.
Should we work
Elizabeth,
on Saturday?
gotta get one. And there's another lady that's coming on, isn't
Hemi does.
it? Hemi doesn't have
I
one.
already gave,
Okay.
my size, yeah.
Who else is there? Oh, Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth.
Ruth, I'm sorry. You need to give her your size.
Let's wear colorful.
Yeah, I want to wear some.
No, I want something real bright. You know. I got me a pretty shirt I want to wear.
Hey,
Hey.
he already has his
Oh,
outfit.
that's an outfit. You'll let- Okay,
There we go.
ladies and
Okay,
gentlemen.
so you, Madeline made the motion
what the
Thank
motion?
you,
to
Madeline.
purchase and.
I make a motion to
CAC
purchase
shirts for members.
the new,
And existing members who don't have a. shirt.
the shirts, the cultural affairs shirts for the new members and the upcoming members that have been appointed recently from your list.
And
she has it.
and existing, because you're an existing
Yeah,
member.
and
so-
existing members.
All right. All right, if I second the motion, it's been seconded by Felicia. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay,
I have,
Felicia, please.
Yeah, it's quick. The other day I stopped by and I picked up at the Sergio's, they provide a food truck, so we can use it either for the
Well, November 12th.
November 12th or the 4th of July. So
All right.
we're handing this to you as the prices, maybe we can negotiate,
What the price is.
We did put out a public whoever wants to participate needs to fill out that form online.
Okay.
So,
but
and they have not filled it out, so.
okay, I'll.
We got
I'll
November
talk to the
12th to do it.
manager.
All right, is there any other issues, concerns, or questions that need to come before this body this evening? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second it,
Second.
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank
See you
you.
Saturday.
We covered a whole lot tonight. Thank you all.
Is the only thing to be done.
Which I sent you.
That was what we need.
No, we should be good. Elizabeth, is your husband coming with you?
Well, it's like,
But.
no, it's like paper. I pay for my house.
So this is my.
Soda.
This is for- all of this was their part. All of this. Bye, see you guys Saturday.
Thank you all.
Bye.